Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you're doing great today. And last night we released our video, how not to suck at modding. And this is going to be kind of a part 2 video to that. I got some good feedback on it. And one of the viewers, the Glock 30 owner, shout out to him, commented and said it would be a good idea to see some examples of poor modding that I've seen in the past. And I think that's a really good idea to get an idea of what people have actually done poorly on when they mod. Now, I could have gone through, looked through my old GAC footage, found examples, but instead, I mean, I know what poor modding looks like, so I went ahead and I've made some poor mods, and it hurt my soul a little bit to go through and create these, but I did. And so we're just gonna go through some examples of what poor modding looks like. I'll put timestamps down below just for each example so you can get a kind of at least a look if you don't wanna watch the full video of what some poor modding looks like. So first one up that I've queued up, let's take a look at Grandmaster Yoda. Yeah, I've seen this before. This should go without saying, so let's not stay on this one too long. Never let this happen. If you have a character that you're going to use or that you think that you might at some point potentially use, put mods on them. I don't care if you break every other rule that we talk about today. Just put a mod on them. If you are literally, you've modded everyone else, you have like 6 mods left and none of them go together, still put them on him. This is absolutely unacceptable. So whatever you do, don't leave your character with no mods. Totally not okay. So let's not dwell on that one anymore, and let's move on to our next mistake that I've seen a lot in modding. Yes, this one we see. I mean, it looks nice. All things Jedi Knight Anakin needs, right? He's got speed, offense, critical damage, throw in some health because he's with Padme. We've got 6-dot mods. This is terrible modding. This is absolutely atrocious, and I've seen this happen far too often. The mistakes that were made here. 1, the speed and the offense sets require 4 mods to be a set, not 2. You can see down here under set bonuses, nothing's listed. We did not get any set bonuses out of any of this. Okay, so make sure whenever you're doing this, don't just look at this and say, well, I know he needs speed, he needs offense, he needs critical damage, he needs health. No, make sets, especially because I have Jedi Knight Anakin Relic up to Relic 4. He's a very key part of my roster. I can't be giving him crappy mod loadouts like this. So the loadout that I actually give him looks more like this. Some people will disagree because I don't have a speed set on him, but I go for critical damage and critical chance just because my speed mods are being used elsewhere. But as far as this goes, this is a much prettier loadout. I've got a 4 set of critical damage because it takes 4 to fill that up, and then some critical chance. I don't have 6-dot mods in there, but that's because, as I said in the last video, slicing materials do come at a premium, especially going up to 6-dot mods. But don't just mismatch and throw random. Make sure to make sets when you can. Don't just throw random mods from different sets in there, because that is just, it's not going to work well. They're not going to get benefits. I mean, it's better than the Grandmaster Yoda example where he had literally nothing, but it's still ranks pretty low as far as examples go. So there's an example. And while we're at it, just so I don't forget, let's go ahead and throw some mods back on Grandmaster Yoda, because this is how I mod my Grandmaster Yoda. Boop. And there we go. We get some critical chance and we get some speed. There's our Grandmaster Yoda. All right, so now let's move on to example number 3, which is going to be Emperor Palpatine. All right, let's take a look at Palpatine now. We've got sets. Ooh, this was actually not by design. There we go. We've got sets now. They don't make any sense for Emperor Palpatine, but we've got sets. Tenacity doesn't make a whole lot of sense for Palpatine. Palpatine, you're looking at speed and you're looking at potency. Tenacity is not going to do anything for him. And then if you go through and look at the primary and secondary stats, crappy speed, no potency. A little bit of potency here. Defense doesn't help him. No speed up here. A little bit of potency. A little bit of potency, but really you need a potency cross. You need something with like a critical chance, critical damage, offense, anything but defense on the triangle. Speed as the primary on the arrow is a phenomenal idea, but really tenacity might be the worst idea to give Palpatine. He just really doesn't need it, because he's already not tenacious, and you probably shouldn't be sending him up against people that are going to debuff him. In any case, we'll get off that one. So this is an example of, yeah, we got sets, which, I mean, if you didn't have literally anything else, this is acceptable, but if you've got potency mods or you've got speed mods, you need to give him something a little different. So instead, this is what my Palpatine looks like. There we go. Speed's gonna jump up significantly, potency up to 89%. Now we're cooking with gas. Once again, not all 6-dot mods, because like I said, 6-dot mods come at a premium. Not everyone can have 6-dot mods. I'm sorry, that's just not how it works. But much better looking mod loadout. Let's see, next on my list, I've got a notepad set up over here with my list. Next one up is gonna be Jolee Bendo. Let's go take a look at our boy, Jolee. Now let's look at these mods. Once again, doesn't make a whole lot of sense for our boy. Potency, just throw those out right now. Jolee literally doesn't do anything to inflict debuffs. I don't think he has a single ability that has anything to do with debuffs. So this, right out the gate, trash, garbage, throw it out. Give him literally anything else, ideally health, but literally do not give him potency. Now offense. Offense. Jolee's not going to be dealing you a lot of damage. You can put powdered sugar on a turd. It's still not going to be a jelly donut. You can give Jolee offense. He ain't going to be dealing damage for you. Someone might make the argument, well, but his basic, he's going to recover more health if his offense is higher. No, absolutely not. Do not make your healer try to be an offensive tank. Like, you don't want Jolee to be your damage output. If Jolee is going to be your main source of damage for Jedi Knight Revan, you got problems, my friend. You got some serious problems. Again, not 6-dot mods. I am going to sacrifice some speed, but speed is important on Jolee. You want him healing as often as possible, but the health, because his healing ability is based off of his max health. You want as much health on Jolee as physically possible, and I could do a better job of giving him more health. Unfortunately, like I said, mods, this is what I've got, and this is what I'm giving him. I understand that his health could be better, but this is where we're going to have to be for the time being. But once again, just make sure that your mods make sense. All right, so I think we're done with the ridiculous examples for mods. Let's go ahead and look at maybe some more subtle mistakes that people might make. And so for that, we're going to hop over into General Kenobi. And I say this because this is a mistake that I had made until recently, and it wasn't a mistake that I didn't understand. It was just, I didn't ever look at General Kenobi's mods. I didn't ever really focus on it. And this isn't a bad idea. I mean, he is a tank. Defense mods for a tank are not a terrible idea. This is a reasonably acceptable mod loadout for General Kenobi. However, I use him with Padme Amidala, and for Padme, whenever you have General Kenobi with Padme, health. Health is key because, as I said in my last video, more health means more protection up, means more stacks of courage, which means, bam, more pain. Rebellions are built on hope. Republics are forged with courage. You can quote me on that. And so defense, while it's not a bad idea, the optimal loadout is going to have more health. And obviously, like I said, I could do better. I could give him even more health. I know someone in my Discord has over 100,000 health on their General Kenobi. That is insane. He's going to be thick with 3 C's for days. Gonna get so much courage. But I've got a little bit of defense in here just to give him a little bit more speed so that he can do his call to assist, because I don't switch my mods out all the time. So I use him for raids and stuff like that. So I need him to have a little bit of speed just so he can be the everyman. But health. So that's an example of not terrible modding, but could be improved. All right. Next one we're going to look at is going to be one where I'm going to seemingly break some of my own rules. And then I will tell you perhaps why I can justify it and why it's maybe not such a terrible idea in a moment of desperation. And that's going to be my Hermit Yoda. Oh, Hoda. Let's take a look at these mods. Yeah, let's not mince words. They don't make any sense, do they? And this isn't a loadout that I set up for this video. This is my actual loadout for this character. And let's talk about why, because I can defend this to an extent. Ideally, I think what you want on Hoda is going to be speed and health mods. Health, because it adds to the health pool, because he can equalize health, and because he's going to help recover health and protection. Speed, because you want him to take as many turns as possible. Here's my thing. I'm out of speed mods. My speed mods that are decent have all been given out, and they're going to have my speed mods that I've left have so little speed left on them that the 10% boost I'll get from the set is not going to outweigh the speed that I'm going to get from other mods. And speed is what I need on Hermit Yoda right now. I need him to take as many turns as possible. So I gave him a bunch of mishmash mods just for the speed. These do not match because frankly, I don't have one from another set of 2 that has enough speed to make up for what I would lose. So the primaries don't make a whole lot of sense. It's all for speed. If you are like me and you are out, I honestly don't have the health mods to go around. I don't have health mods with speed. I don't have speed mods with speed. If you are where I'm at, where you just don't have the mods, you are literally out and you need something just to get a support going, just so he takes turns. This is where I would say it is acceptable to do something like that. If you really need a support to be taking more turns, they don't necessarily make sense. I do have some sets in there where I could get sets, but I just needed speed. So there you go. There's an example. Now let's look at some good examples. Let's look at some examples where we've modded what I would say we've modded well. Let's go and look at Young Han. Young Han, I feel like you could go one of 2 ways. You could go speed or you could go health. My opinion is I want to go health with my Young Han, and that is for the upper hand. He's going to gain 50 speed for the rest of the encounter, stacking up to plus 200 speed. I don't feel like I really need to add even more speed onto that when he's gonna be cooking with speed. He's gonna be cooking with speed. So I don't have to spend as many of my speed mods on him to make him great. So that's where we go with health. Why do I go with health? Because he's going to gain protection up 100%. Protection up is based on his max health. So as much health as physically possible. I've got some speed in here, of course, but these health would be better here. Obviously health would be better. However, I just don't have them, or maybe it's a mistake, but health mods are where we want to go with Young Han. I could improve this mod set by making this a health primary. Is this a health? No, it's not. It's got a little bit more health in there. This is 1.6%. This is 760. I'd have to do the math, see which one's better. I could go through and look and see if I could find a health mod that's got health. I don't see one off the top of my head that is not being used by someone else. Probably Rex's. Rex's has health on it, right? Nope, it's got protection. Anyways, we won't dwell on this any further. I could definitely enhance his loadout by giving him more health, but I'm okay with where it's at for right now. I'll get back to this one, but in any case, this is an example of someone that's modded well. He obviously doesn't have 6-dot mods. He doesn't have all gold mods. He's not one of my top tier characters, so he unfortunately has to get some B and C grade mods. But as far as like a lower tier team, he's modded very well. And now finally, let's finish off with one more example of a character that I would say is modded very well, taking very good use of sets and secondaries. And that's gonna be my Zalbar. Zalbar, I've built him up. Zalbar's a tank. I want him to tank as much as possible. Hopefully that makes sense. We've got speed on the primary, so he's taking as many turns as possible because we want him to get around to his power blast so that he can inflict armor shred. So I still want him to be taking turns. We've got health, we've got speed, we've got critical chance, and one thing that you're gonna notice on my mods for Zalbar is I not only have speed, I have health. I'm focusing on critical chance with my primary where I can, and on my secondaries. Because Zalbar, whenever he lands a critical hit with his power blast, he's going to inflict armor shred. So it's very important that you're landing those crits. Now, I could improve that chance with some crit chance mods, throw a couple of crit chance mods in there instead of maybe one of these health sets, this defense set. However, with what I've found in my experience is with my critical chance primary and my critical chance from these other mods, I have a good enough chance. I land armor shred often enough that I'm okay sacrificing, maybe an armor shred every once in a while for the resilience on Zalbar. So this is an example of a character that I would say is modded well, takes good advantage of sets, takes good advantage of primary stats, and takes advantage of secondary stats. So this is probably a good example of a character, not a top tier character of mine, that is modded well and is ready to go for Grand Arena. Guys, that's all I really wanted to go with for you today. Just give you some examples of some poor mods and some decent mods of some characters that were modded well. Let me know if this helped. Hopefully this gave you some examples that will help you out when you're modding. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a like. Like I said, if you don't hate the video, go ahead and drop a like. And if you really don't hate the video, go ahead and hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notifications for any new videos and live streams. And we will talk to you guys in a later video. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Thanks so much.
down to the baseline.